hanging on for just 1 second here, and we should be ready to go in just a moment. Altering a couple of things here so the broadcast looks a little bit better. We were not on last night. We had a decent amount of issues in regards to internet. Some of that could have been the storms. Some of that could have been internal gremlins. It's kind of hard to say, but as of right now, we are back again. It is the 3rd of April. It is Wednesday evening, and it is very much on the quiet side once again. So very glad to know that we do not have anything in the way of major problems for right now. But as we get into the rest of the forecast next week, unfortunately, I would love to say things are looking spectacular for the eclipse coming up. Unfortunately, we do appear to be having some problems with the forecast out there, and we'll talk more about that coming up in just a little while. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick, live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. We are live on YouTube and also on Twitch TV, so welcome to everybody who's signed up to follow along and also giving us, again, your attention for tonight. We do not have too much of anything to worry about in the way of problems in regards to, again, anything tonight. There are some scattered showers out there, but beyond that, there's really just not that much happening. So always grateful to have some quiet weather, especially after the severe weather we had last night. This time around, I think we're going to be seeing the possibility of some more showers into next week, and that is where we could again see some problems with both the eclipse and also with the lookouts. Their first game coming up next week, and that home opener could be a bit of a problem. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while, so stay tuned for that. If you got any questions about anything, please drop it into the comments section. We'd love to see what it is you have a question about. If there's anything going on weather-wise into and around this area, for weather, we come to you from southeast Tennessee, northwest Georgia, northeastern areas of Alabama, and also into and around the area of far western areas of North Carolina. We'll show you the radar coming up here in just a little bit. Wanted to see what's going on, make certain that our YouTube page is working and things are looking good at this point in time, so we'll go ahead and shut that down and go ahead and get started. Again, this is our weather blog, an opportunity to talk more about what's going on when it comes to weather into and around this area of the country. And as of right now, it's a lot better than what it was about 24 hours ago, but we'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. Here's what it looks like into and around the area when it comes to the almanac page. 67 was the high temperature right after about midnight or so, and temperatures tumbled pretty nicely down into the lower 50s earlier on into the morning hours, and that was pretty close to normal on the low temperature there. But again, for the high temperature, we were very close to where we should be, just a bit below normal. Yesterday we made it into the 80s. This time around, again, a little cooler, and it's going to be much cooler for the high temperature as we get into tomorrow with all that cold air wrapped around the backside of that storm system coming on through. Record high has not been broken since 1999. That's 89 degrees, and record low of 25 above, which was last set back in 1992. Officially no rainfall for today. We did manage to wind up with a little bit yesterday, and we're just a little bit behind for the entire year and the month, fractions of an inch. So we're doing relatively okay where rainfall is concerned, but we could always use some more out there, and that would be kind of nice to be able to see that at some point in time. Thanks to News 12 viewer James R. Malcolm for a beautiful view. Don't know if this is sunrise or sunsets, but a very nice illuminated thundercloud back toward North Charleston, South Carolina, back in June of 2021. Beautiful colors there. Excellent weather photography, and that's our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. So thank you, Mr. Malcolm, for that. If you've got weather pictures, we'd love to see them and show them. Several ways you can get that done. You can drop the picture to our social media pages in the comments section, as well as with a description of what exactly you were looking at or where you were. You can drop into email at pictures@wdef.com. Or, and this is brand spanking new right here, WDEF.com/photos if you'd like to see a little bit more about what other people are sending in, and you can submit your pictures on this particular page. And if you have any questions, again, just go to our website, WDEF.com, and would love to be able to see what you're looking at. Tomorrow, there will be a slight chance of a shower, mainly late morning, early afternoon, but temperatures tomorrow, combine that with a stiff breeze out of the west, we could be looking at some pretty chilly conditions across the area as we get into Thursday afternoon. So highs will be cooler tomorrow than they were actually today. So that means for any outdoor activities, heading out for a hike, catching a fish, trying out a 9 or 18 hole run. Temperatures again tomorrow will be rather on the brisk side. So if you are going to be out and about, that's great. Shouldn't be a problem with anything involving huge amounts of rain and lesser breeze than what we saw today. But we are going to see the potential of some very chilly conditions out there. So bundle up and get ready for some fairly breezy conditions across much of the area. We'll talk more about the forecast on that in just a little bit. Plainview outdoor advertising camera from Lee Point. That's 153 under Highway 64 looking off to the southwest. Once again, we've got clouds out there, and the clouds have been coming and going. We'll show you why coming up here in just a little bit. Downtown, focusing on the east. This should hopefully be a good sunrise picture tomorrow as we go toward Dawn Patrol Thursday. Bailey's Heating and Air Camera looking off toward the east. Again, some clouds illuminated by the sky shine, and a beautiful, if not chilly and breezy evening so far. News 12 Studios from around Broad Street and looking back toward Interstate 24, traffic moving through downtown at this time. A lot better than what it was earlier. Several backups and slowdowns thanks to a little bit of some accidents and some crunch time, drive time issues out there, but things are moving along pretty nicely. All these cameras, I should mention, are on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network page, and you can get there by going to WDEF.com/weather if you'd like to see those. Highway 75 or Interstate 75 coming north and going to 24 or 75 north or 24 west and 24 east going to 75 south. Interchange on the Tomahawk crane and rigging camera. Again, so far so good out across much of the area where it comes to travel. We're not getting anything outside of some breeze, but we've got some dry roadways. Chattanooga Zoo camera is down, unfortunately. We'll have to get to our chief engineers to get that fixed. Gorgeous sunset earlier tonight on the Speedy's Total Car Care camera, looking off toward Raccoon Mountain off in the distance. Tennessee River flowing underneath the footbridge. Coolidge Park in the North Shore area, looking across the river toward the aquarium and downtown back around this location here. So beautiful conditions for right now, but it is brisk with temperatures back in the lower 50s, and we should see again some very quiet conditions for tonight, if not a little bit on the breezy side, so it's not doing too bad for right now across much of the area, but be prepared in the morning for a pretty sharp temperature drop. We'll get to the low temperatures here coming up in just a little bit. Want to check the TDOT camera from I-24 and McBrien Road. Slow, but everything is moving along well, so that's good. We had a pretty good backup in this area right around that big construction zone. Looking back toward the 75-24 junction underneath the bridge, you can see right there, and then back to the west of this on that side of the picture, that's where a lot of that construction is currently ongoing. So for right now, not really looking too bad across much of the area. When it comes to travel, just wanted to make certain everything was flowing along at least a little bit nicer out there. All right, let's go ahead and get into what we're looking at for right now. We again have the potential of some clouds and some spotty showers moving on through. This is all rotating around an area, couple areas of low pressure. The first one, I've got to give the data time to catch up to this, and with the wind particles running through here, this slows the animation down by a little bit. All right, so we've got one area of low pressure. This system was responsible for last night's severe weather and some pretty good winter weather, almost a nor'easter going on here, bringing in a lot of moisture up across the areas of New England and the St. Lawrence Seaway. The upper level low, this one is way down toward the surface. This one is farther up in the atmosphere, so winds are swirling around this, bringing clouds and rainfall down our direction again, and maybe some surprises back to the east of Chattanooga. More on that in just a little bit. But this is going to kind of wander around the southern Great Lakes for a day or two, and that's going to be responsible for keeping our temperatures here rather on the chilly side. So we will see again the potential of some much colder numbers coming on through. For those of you again who are asking, again, we're in southeast Tennessee, northeast Alabama, northwest Georgia, and extreme western North Carolina. So that's our area of coverage if you're wondering where we are located on there. We're coming to you from downtown Chattanooga for tonight. So welcome to the Netcast. If you've never been here before, again, this is Weather Overtime, our online video weather blog designed to give you, the viewer, a little bit more detail as to what's going on. During a typical weathercast, 3 minutes is a very long period of time. So if we can stretch that out and give you the opportunity to ask questions, that's a better opportunity for you to know a little bit more about what's going on. These showers are just very random. There's nothing really going on. There's some more chances of moisture all the way up here with this particular system into and around the area of the Mississippi, the Ohio, and back over toward the Missouri River Valley. That is where we're seeing the potential for some more moisture coming our way. Some of that could make its way down our direction, but there's also another thing to take a look at for tonight, and that is, excuse me, allergies are doing a number on my throat at this point. Tonight, into areas just to the east of the News 12 viewing area, just in the far eastern part of the viewing area, southeastern Monroe County, that's the eastern edge of the News 12 viewing area, southeastern Monroe County right up against the Appalachians and the North Carolina state line. There is a winter weather advisory in effect, and that means that this area, shaded in purple all the way up along the spine of the Appalachians, could be picking up as much as 3 to 5 inches of snow, possibly mixed with sleet late tonight, early and through most of tomorrow, and into Thursday evening, early Friday morning. So if you're planning on traveling anywhere in this area up towards Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, south and east of Knoxville, could be some dicey traveling conditions out there. We'll keep our eyes on this, but for now, if you're traveling that way, that could be a bit of an issue for getting through, especially in the less traveled off to the side of the roadway passes. That could be a bit of an issue there. And again, that's in effect until 5 a.m. Eastern time on Friday the 5th. So that again could be a bit of a problem there. Let's go ahead and run things in motion to give you an idea as to what we're looking at as we go into around the next couple of days. We do see, again, the potential of some problems coming up. Tomorrow morning, again, there could be some moisture over the higher elevations north and east of us, and temperatures back in the mid to upper 30s. The rest of Thursday afternoon, very much on the cool side. The clouds will probably block out a lot of the daytime heating, so it's a good possibility that we may see the potential of some problems with the temperatures. Much cooler tomorrow in some locations, and a stray chance of a light shower, and in the higher elevations east of us, the possibility of some snow out there. So that, again, could be a bit of an issue. Now, through Thursday night into Friday morning, that area of stretched out low pressure becomes a cold front that's got enough of a punch to it that it becomes an actual front instead of just a stretched out line of area of low pressure. By Friday morning, we could be seeing some temperatures in the mid 30s. I would not be surprised if we lose the cloud cover to get some frost out there, and that's not the only time either. By Friday afternoon, we may get enough sunshine thanks to high pressure to our east, clearing and drying things out a little bit. Back in the mid to upper 50s, a few lower 60s around portions of areas down toward Atlanta and Birmingham. Now, Saturday morning, this is where it gets really chilly. Temperatures, again, very good possibility of seeing some frost across the area. So if you have plants outside that don't do well like that, I've already brought my orange tree in to make certain that it's protected from these types of numbers. So now's the time to start thinking about that yet again. The average last frost around here in this part of the country is April 11th through the 18th, basically anywhere in that week. And we're coming up on that relatively soon. That in that roughly median area. You can get plenty of frost beforehand. You can get frost after that, April 18th. If the conditions are right, you can get frost around here all the way into May. So that is a very good possibility. So something to watch out for there to see what may be coming our direction. Now for Saturday afternoon, not really a problem. Looking very nice late Saturday afternoon. Temperatures in the high 50s to low 60s. We'll get sunshine mixed with a few clouds. And then early Sunday morning, temperatures back in the 30s. Doesn't look too low, not enough for frost, but it will be on the chilly side there. And then as we go into Sunday afternoon, things look pleasant. Temperatures quite nice back into about the lower to mid 50s early on, but I think we should be hitting the 60s easily by Sunday. That's the good news for right now. The weekend clears out and looks pretty good. This is going to be our not so good news, and we'll talk about that coming up here in just a second. Well, let's go ahead and get the bad news out of the way for now, because unfortunately this is the way it's going to look. Putting the forecast into fast forward mode, going through Friday into the weekend and winding up as we go into and around Monday early in the morning. We start to see more chances of moisture head our direction. That dry air that we had not shaping up too well, so to stick around, that would be nice. And at 7 o'clock, Eclipse Day Monday, that green indicates the possibility of maybe some showers, and the gray, of course, is the possibility of cloud cover. So for right now, I wish I had better news. The forecast for 2017 back in Memphis when I was there did call for partly to mostly cloudy skies, and you could see the eclipse between the clouds very easily. This right here, I'm really hoping that that dry air sticks around a day or two and maybe the storm system will slow down just a little bit. That would be nice, because unfortunately as we go even farther toward about eclipse time, which around here is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when totality will be passing us just to the west, and that's when the moon for us will be covering things to its maximum extent. This right here does not look good, because we may see more chances of showers and cloud cover out there. I know there's going to be a ton of pictures out from the internet from places that do not have a lot of cloud cover, so this is a little disappointing to say the least, as being an astronomy nerd. Whether or not this comes to fruition, again, storm systems can speed up, they can slow down. Right now, this is the best optimal forecast for the time being. So for right now, it does not look all that great for the eclipse. Likewise, this moisture might be sticking around as we go into Tuesday, which is the opening day for the local minor league baseball team, the Chattanooga Lookouts. Really not great timing on this, so I would hope that we would be able to get out of this and into some clearer skies. There's still a lot of time. I mean, it is Wednesday night, and we're talking about next Monday. That's quite a few days to where the forecast can change. So here's hoping that we get some better news in here. Chances of that right now, it's possible, likely. That's a little bit on the iffy side. So again, we'll keep our eyes on it. So keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll keep you advised as to what's going on. Looking out toward Island Cove Marina and Resort, Lake Chickamauga along the Tennessee River. A lot of clouds, a lot of sky shine out there. And the way it looks for right now over the next several days will be breezy as we get into the forecast for tomorrow, with a chance of some showers in the afternoon, but really not much more than that. And then Friday, sunny skies, a little warmer, back in the 60s by Saturday, some patchy frost early Saturday morning, back in the 70s on Sunday, and then some very mild temperatures coming on through. Chances of rain start late Sunday night, go into around Monday, stick around through Eclipse Day, and then also linger for Tuesday for the home opener of the Lookouts in downtown Chattanooga. And then after that, we see again the potential for more rain showers coming up as we go into Wednesday or so. So that is going to be the potential of seeing some more chances of rain around. So we might be in for several days of showers, because it looks like in the extended forecast, unless the latest computer models have said anything, It looks like Thursday of next week is going to keep up with the potential of more rain. And then finally, perfect timing, clearing out about Friday. That is where we see the potential of some more sunshine. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you might get rained out. We'll see what goes on. Hopefully, again, the Lookouts can get the game in on Tuesday, and hopefully we won't be totally socked in by clouds coming up as we go into around the area of Eclipse Day coming up on Monday. We do not wish if we could change the weather, that would be great, but unfortunately we're not up to that quite level of technology and or magic at this time. If you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, again, bottom of your screen, WDEF.com/weather. That is our website if you would like to take a look and see what's going on. Keep it tuned to our website for more details, and we'll keep you advised as to what may be happening. All right, so for tonight, again, taking a look at what's going on in and around the area. This is something we feature every weeknight, and we are pleased to be able to bring this to you on behalf of our sponsor, friendinroofing.com. This is our weather/science poll. So if you'd like to tune in, every single day we offer a new question, except for the weekends, and we're working on that. So again, places of the question for today, and we vary back and forth between science, ecology, weather, meteorology, exometeorology, weather on other planets, things like that. So this is a really neat opportunity to learn something every single day. Places around the world that contain or take in carbon dioxide instead of emitting it. The very important difference between the two of them, because these set up around the world can help to reduce our carbon dioxide, and therefore being a greenhouse gas can help reduce our temperature increase thanks to the man-made increase of the greenhouse effect from fossil fuels. So what is it called? A carbon trap, a carbon dump, a carbon sink, or a carbon lock? 42% of you voted for carbon sink, and that is the correct answer. 8% voted for carbon dump, 16% for carbon trap, and coming in second place, carbon lock at 34%. Unique names to be certain, but not the correct answer. If you'd like to follow along, get to the QR code on the screen, use your camera on your smart tablet, phone, or otherwise to get to where you need to go to, or head to our website, WDEF.com/vote now, and we'd love to have you along for the ride on that. So thanks to friendinroofing.com for being our sponsor for this. What else do we have to talk about? Let me see here. Oh, yes. For right now, this is both a specific, special, and a very tragic day when it comes to weather history. And I was only about 6 years old when this happened, so this is something that I don't particularly remember, but I do know that a lot of people went through this, and this is something to take a look at because the National Weather Service in Morristown has done another spectacular job using Story Map. They did a presentation like this because earlier this year it was the 30th anniversary of the Superstorm Sandy that rolled its way up the East Coast states and led to what was being called the perfect storm with the snow and the wind and the severe weather and everything else that happened. April 3rd to April 4th, overnight tonight into tomorrow, 1974 was the super outbreak of tornadoes across the United States. Over 100 tornado touchdowns, and some of them quite large, devastating entire communities. And this was back during a time when Doppler radar was still being tested and put into practice. So this is a long time before we saw anything in the way of the radar abilities that we have nowadays. And the National Weather Service in Morristown, because they were part of it down in this area, National Weather Service Morristown covers eastern and southeastern Tennessee in the News 12 viewing area. And they have put together this story map presentation with tons of graphics and an explainer of how the weather maps looked back then. The outcome maps, which we included here on the other side, showing the tracks along those tracks, the EFs, or back then the F scale of the tornadoes going across the map from southwest to northeast, and a lot of them came through this area, right down around Huntsville, north central Alabama. Some big thunderstorms with some powerful tornadoes. Some of them, again, to the east of Chattanooga, a lot of them to the north between Nashville, Knoxville, and north of Atlanta, and then back into Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. A truly amazingly active and tragic day for, again, a lot of people lost their lives back then. And this would technically count as one of the worst severe weather days in American history. Maybe not quite at a level of the 1900 Galveston storm in September of 1900, but way up there as one of the most deadly active weather days in United States history. So this really neat to be able to take a look at that. So if you'd like to know more about this, head to the website of the National Weather Service in Morristown. Weather.gov will take you to the National Weather Service website. Click on the area of East Tennessee on the map, and that'll take you again, or just use the code MRX. That's the three-letter code for the National Weather Service website for Morristown. Again, that's Mike Romeo X-Ray. So go ahead and head there for more information. And thanks to the National Weather Service for doing an excellent job of putting this whole thing together. Really neat to be able to see this. And this is an important piece of weather history, something for scientists and meteorologists and climatologists to study to see what goes on. But this is a very nice, for the public, layman demonstration and explanation of what went on. So a great opportunity to learn more about this and to take a look and see what happened. Could this happen again? Yes, absolutely. This is one of those type of situations where the storm system, all the tumblers in the lock turned at the right time, and we had just an absolutely massive amount of severe weather going through. Yes, we have Doppler radar. Yes, we have a lot more Skywarn personnel. Yes, we have cell phones. Yes, we have a whole bunch of other stuff to be ready in case this happens again. We have a lot better severe weather practices. Again, something to think about there for you to make certain you know what to do when you're at home or at work or at school, to know where to go to. Storms like this can teach us a lot of very tragic lessons. So this is something to really watch out for and to make certain that we are up to date on with the weather forecast and to remember what's going on. There really is no such thing as without warning anymore. That's up to you to stay informed in regards to what's going on and learning about systems like this and what is potentially possible. That is something, again, that can really help everybody stay safe, including you and me. So let's make certain we stay safe out there and keep an eye as to what's going on. Because, again, days like this, they're not impossible, and they are possible to happen again. Just like we could have another storm like Katrina hit New Orleans. Maybe there was one several hundred years ago. Maybe there will be one next year. It just all depends on how those elements of weather in the atmosphere really come together out there. So that's really something to think about, and we'll help you stay up to date here on News 12 to keep you advised as to what's happening. On that note, again, you may want to think about having your wireless emergency alerts on your phone taken care of. Find out more about how and why it's so important, especially in an area that does not have tornado sirens. We have sirens, but the only time they sound around here is if something has gone catastrophically wrong at the Sequoia nuclear plant up the river from here, and everybody has to evacuate. They're not used for tornado sirens, which is why it is more important than ever to have wireless emergency alerts on your phone active and ready to go, especially during times of severe weather. And again, also there's a ton of other stuff to talk about for severe weather purposes, but we're already closing in on half an hour here, so we don't want to bore too many people to sleep on Wednesday evening. If you'd like to have us in your classroom, we'd love to be able to appear and talk about weather to your classroom. Go ahead and send us a request at our website for the Food City sponsored Weather in the Classroom program. That's your opportunity as a teacher or administrator to have us in the classroom to give a talk to your kids to supplement your science lessons and to give you an idea as to what goes on when it comes to weather. Please let us know how many students we're talking to, a good possible run of days and times, because our schedules have to dovetail with yours and our work here at the station. Which one of my colleagues or myself you would like to have appear, what grade level, we will be talking to. It really helps to know that ahead of time because a pre-kindergarten weather talk will be much shorter and, again, for attention span purposes, a lot different on the subject matter than we would if we were talking to an adult church group, a high school science club, or a middle school science lesson. So please let us know in ahead of as much time in advance as possible. We're coming up on the end of the school year. We're not too far away from the end of the semester. Testing time is around the corner, so it's going to be time to think about summer camps and church camps and things like that. If you'd like us to come talk weather safety at any of those, we can do that, but you have to let us know. We don't just show up someplace and say, hey, we're here to talk about weather. So give us a shout. Again, WDEF.com/weather on the Food City Weather in the Classroom program. And thanks to Food City for being our sponsor on that. And, of course, you can find out all about everything going on at my social media pages, minus Facebook, who apparently doesn't want me back as a customer. I've been X'd out of Facebook, unfortunately, because somebody in New Orleans tried to hack my account, and I'm locked out because Facebook won't accept my forms, plural, of ID. But you can still find me on many other locations out there. So we try to post as much as possible to other websites in case some of these aren't to your liking. Still haven't quite got the hang of TikTok yet. Maybe I'll get on there one of these days, but haven't really thought about it. And Snapchat, Nina Harrelson, if you're watching, I tried. I gave it a shot. I'm not good at it. Would need your help to get things set back up again. So that would be nice, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately, anytime soon. So not really seeing a lot of good news on that. All right, we've been on the net here now for just over 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take it back to regular programming, and we'll remind you again to tune in tonight on News 12 at 11. And to find out more about our website, again, go to WDEF.com/weather. And, of course, you can always find out more with Chip Chapman's forecast coming up bright and early tomorrow morning, starting at 5 a.m. on the Thursday morning show. So you can definitely start and find out more details as to what's coming up there. And, of course, we'll keep you updated online as often as possible. And, of course, all at our website, available at WDEF.com/weather. For more details there. And we'll be back tomorrow night with another edition of Weather Overtime, your exclusive online video weather blog from the Chattanooga area. So thanks a lot for tuning in, asking questions, and joining up on Twitch and YouTube. And maybe one of these days we'll be back on Facebook. Kind of hard to tell right now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick, live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, Eastern USA, North America, planet Earth, third rock from the sun, solar system, Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Thanks for joining us for tonight.